Welcome to the Bomba Pod. I'm your host, Martin Bomba, and each week we bring you meaningful conversations with guests who uplift, inspire, and encourage you to become the very best version of yourself. Whether you're chasing a dream, building something new, or just looking for a spark of motivation, you're in the right place. Produced by Dennis Ayotte and proudly supported by Window World and PJ's Coffee of New Orleans. Let's grow together. Let's be inspired. Let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome to the Bomba Pod. My name is Martin Bomba, and in our continuing tradition of phenomenal guests, we've got one for you today. She is a well-established San Antonio business leader. She is also just a beautiful soul that is always giving of her time and her efforts to great causes and great things. She's a beach lover. She's also the queen of Fiesta medals, I think. And really happy to have Kathy Drago with us.
Thank you for having me, Martin. I'm super excited to be on this podcast of yours.
Well, thank you so much. And I was kind of shocked whenever you said I've never done a podcast before.
I have never done one. I've been behind the TV, TV cameras.
Yeah.
So I'm used to that, but I have never done a podcast.
Before the first one I did, I had never done a podcast.
Seriously?
I've never been on a podcast ever.
Interesting.
I take that back. One time a friend of mine said, would you come in and do this? It never went anywhere. I don't think he ever aired it or anything. And I sat down, but there was no video involved. It was just us sitting across the table
That
talking.
surprises me because you have the podcast voice.
You know what? And thank you.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that's a compliment.
I'm just kidding. False humility suits me.
Yeah.
But I was, told a long time ago by people, you really should be doing a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I know you do radio and I know you've done radio forever, but you really should get into the podcast. Well, there's a thing with radio people that in the beginning, back in the day when podcasts started, we kind of looked at them as a joke.
Oh, you did?
Because they didn't have to pay the dues that we had to pay. And they didn't really that's not really any kind of broadcasting stuff because they're not on the air. And it's not going out live. Anybody can be famous with just recording something on their iPhone.
Sure.
And the truth is that's true. Anybody can, but not anybody can do a successful podcast. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Good.
I'm trying to do a successful podcast.
That's awesome.
And the odds are not great. But
I'm happy you're doing this, and I'm really honored to be a part of it.
Better the guest, better the podcast.
Come on.
It's not about me. One of the things I want to get into right off the bat is the company that you and your husband Charlie own.
Yes.
Charlie's super guy.
Yes.
Huge deadhead.
Yes. Both of us are.
Both of you guys are.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Yeah, and we lost another one recently, Mr. Weir.
Bobby Weir.
Yeah.
We lost Bobby, and we lost Phil, and we lost Bill Walton, all within a year of each other. It's been tough.
Wow. Pretty soon it's just going to be John Mayer.
Pretty soon it's probably
which is
gonna
sad.
be that, and he'll just build a group around
build another
him
group.
And
kind of like what the Eagles
again.
are doing.
Yeah, they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hope it does continue. I've had people
Me too.
ask me about, well, what is your take on these bands going out that are basically tribute bands? And I think to myself, these guys came up learning from the guys in the band.
Yes.
They were part of the band before they passed away. They're carrying on the tradition, and I get to go out and I get to hear these songs live sounding good.
That's
and that makes me. I'm getting chills. That makes me happy.
Bobby Weir said he wanted the Grateful Dead music to be around for the next 300 years. That's the only way they're going to be able to do that. Is
Absolutely.
Have people like John Mayer and other people that come, down the road too. We want people that love the music. We want to keep hearing the music.
Absolutely.
So
you don't just stop being a fan because your heroes have passed on.
That's right.
You maybe even become a bigger fan.
Yep.
Because it's not as readily available to you.
So the next generation takes over.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's awesome too.
Yes.
It's awesome. Well, I mean, we got good stuff to look forward to. There's good new music too, but man, you can't beat that.
No, nothing like our era.
Nothing.
Nothing. Let's talk the 70s and 80s.
Oh, heck yeah. And I'm still loving going to see the Eagles. I mean,
me too.
They've still got a little bit of a run left in Vegas.
Yep.
Sammy Hagar just wrapped up and Sammy's 77, 78 years old.
And now they've got Metallica coming out there. Now, I don't know anything about Metallica.
I like Metallica just fine. They're okay, very different.
Yeah.
But they also had, I think it was the Backstreet Boys.
They did.
That I didn't understand.
I didn't either.
Did the Backstreet Boys really need the Sphere?
I don't know, but I think they filled it up with a lot of young women.
They absolutely did.
They did.
Yeah, I mean, there's no denying their popularity. They're
Yeah.
awesome.
I remember taking my kids. My kids are now 32 and 34, and I remember taking them to a Backstreet Boys concert down at the Alamo Dome. I don't think it was the Alamo Dome back then, and just listening to thousands of screaming little girls at this concert.
Probably the Hemisphere Arena back then.
That's what it was.
It was probably Hemisphere.
Yes.
I
Yes.
saw so many. I was sad when they tore that down. I saw
Yeah.
so many good concerts there.
I know, me too.
And man, we used to have really good shows that came through town because of that.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
And now we don't really have that size venue with great acoustics.
Yeah.
Which I wish we did.
I know.
Maybe
wish
one
we
of
did
these
too.
days.
I
Maybe
mean,
one
you
of
can
these
go down to the Majestic, but that's like a really small atmosphere, which can be really wonderful too.
It is, and but the older I get, and I know being a deadhead,
Yeah.
you were in crowds.
Yes.
You understood what being in crowds was about.
Yes.
But the older I get, and you tell me if this is at all true for you, the older I get, the more I like the intimate shows where I can sit down for most of the show.
Right.
I can stand up if I want to, but I can sit down for most of the show. And it's just more comfortable to me. And the acoustics are so much better.
Okay.
Outdoor has its own thing.
Yes.
But the acoustics and the way that you hear the music
Yes.
is so much better inside.
Okay. So I have to tell you, I'm not a sitter at a
Oh,
concert.
Debbie's not either.
Dead concert, I'll stand for 4 hours. I will log in 15,000 steps from a concert. I just dance and dance and dance and dance. Yeah, and I'm a sober deadhead, so that makes it even better.
That makes it even better. so there's Kathy, and then there's Kathy.
Yeah, uh-huh. Out there, Kathy.
yeah.
And my husband, no, he's like you. He likes to sit and then get up and sit and get up, and he just sits there and watches his wife dance the entire time.
Kindred souls, Charlie and I.
Yep.
We were at a show the other night at the Brontex in New Braunfels.
Yes.
And it was 38 Special.
Oh my gosh.
38 Special.
Yes.
They were fantastic.
Oh,
Sounded great.
I think I saw them back in the 80s.
One original member.
Yeah.
He's the lead singer. He
That
wrote
makes a
most of the
difference.
songs.
That makes a difference.
So
Yeah.
it's a good one to keep. But she was just out of her skin wanting to get up,
Oh, yeah.
and nobody in the place it was a bunch of old folks,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're not getting up and dancing around. She's like,
Sure.
am I going to embarrass you if I get up and dance around? I said, honey, have you ever embarrassed me if you get up and dance around? I
Right.
don't care.
Right. Just go.
Get up and dance around.
yeah.
I might join you. I might not.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so
My husband knows I'm a dancer. That's what I'm going to be like.
Yep.
I'm like that in church, praise and worship music at church. I'm the one up, waving the arms, doing my thing.
and good for you for doing it. Be yourself.
Yep.
Be yourself. If that's where the Spirit leads you. And music does that for a lot of people.
It does it for me too.
And I think that we'll probably come back around to music here in a little
Yeah.
while and talk about the healing qualities of it
Oh, yes.
and the spirit building of it.
Yes.
And we will get to that. So I told you, Dennis, if Kathy and I start talking, it could go anywhere. And it's probably not going to stay on script. Let's talk about Monarch Trophies.
Sure.
Monarch Trophies would I be fair in saying that it's the largest trophy dealer in the state, maybe? Definitely in San Antonio.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will humbly say yes. And we are probably in the top 5 in the United States. This is not because of me. This is from my visionary husband. I was just telling him the other night, this is funny that you say this, but the other night I told him one of the most endearing qualities about my husband is he has this ability to turn things around because he thinks outside of the box. He doesn't think traditionally. And if I've ever had a problem at work, in business, with family, in a relationship, he's my go-to guy because he knows what to do with it. And he's so good in the business world, and he's taken this amazing business that we purchased a little over 20 years ago, and they were already a wonderfully thriving business that was owned by John and Sandra Bradley that were locals here in town. And he just turned it into this massive business. And I could not be more proud of him for that. And I tell him that all the time. And now our sons are taking over the business.
Isn't that a beautiful thing,
Mm-hmm.
having your kids take over the
Mhm.
business? We're so blessed that we've got kids both in our San Antonio and our Corpus locations that will be taking over the businesses.
Yes.
And we know it'll be in great hands.
It's so great. My whole family's in town. My grandkids are all in town. We work together. We eat together. We have lunch together. We spend a lot of time together. So it's a good thing that we like each other as much as we do.
Exactly. Yeah, you told me that you're going to be married how many years now?
42 years.
And when people ask you what's the secret to a long marriage, what do you tell them?
Oh my gosh. Friendship. Talk to each other. Have a lot of fun together.
Laugh a lot together.
Laugh a lot. We did not have children for the first 6 years of our marriage. And so we spent a lot of time just us together, getting to know each other, traveling, around the country, working with our business because we used to have Drug Emporium here in town.
Oh,
which
okay,
was
yeah.
From years ago. And so we have known nothing but working together and being together literally 24/7 our whole lives.
And that's been, there's a reason why we click because
Yes.
we have parallel lives.
Yes.
And what I tell people in a little different phrasing is the exact same thing. You've got to like who you're married to.
Absolutely.
It's great if you love them.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important. You have to have love. You have to have passion. You have to
Right.
have all of those things. But if you don't like the person that you're waking up next to every morning, that
right.
marriage is not going to last.
That's right. That's right.
And all of those things contribute to that liking that person is the laughing together, doing things together, taking trips together.
Yep.
I've known people who have taken trips separately, and they were married for a while. But I'm thinking to myself, what fun is that?
Yeah.
You come back. Who are you sharing that experience with?
Right.
Who are you reminiscing with it about in 25 years?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get that. Works for some people, doesn't work for me.
Sure.
So Monarch Trophies, the business that you took from level A and probably moved it up to level Z,
Yeah.
and I mean you really ramped it
Yeah.
up. You guys do a lot of Fiesta medals, don't you?
We do quite a bit of them. Yes. And it's really interesting how the whole Fiesta thing kind of happened. We were in a small 10,000 square foot facility over in Castle Hills. And when we were over there, I'll never forget the day this woman walks in and I'm up at the counter and I ran the sales floor and I'm up at the counter and a judge walks in and I don't know who this woman is, but she says, I'm Judge such and such and I'm here to order 5,000 lapel pins, lapel ribbons from you.
Yes.
And I said, what are you doing with those ribbons? And she says, we're putting Fiesta medals on them. I'm like, Fiesta medals. So I went back and told my husband, husband and wife working together in business.
Yeah.
And I said, there's this judge out here and she wants 5,000 ribbons and they're going to put like a Fiesta medal on it. And I know that there's this Fiesta thing in town, but I don't know really what these medals are. So he came out and that was kind of like where things, started a little bit. And then Macy's, the old store Macy's,
sure,
got in touch with my husband and they pitched the, Macy's Fiesta medal. And from that point on, it just kind of went next level. And now we do all of Ray Feo and their court. We do King Antonio and his court. And
you've done Window World ones.
we've done
and they were
Window
awesome.
World, yes.
And those are collector items.
They are.
They are. Well, ours for a special reason because it was in 2020.
Yes. Oh,
No
yes.
Fiesta.
No Fiesta.
Yeah, so I've got this huge box of Fiesta medals.
And you should have
somewhere.
You should have seen our back room during that time.
Oh, I'll bet.
We held Fiesta medals for a year.
No.
For people. Yes.
That's a lot of space.
For a year because we didn't have Fiesta and everything was shut down probably 2 months before Fiesta.
Were they
was
smart
here.
enough not to put a year on theirs?
Oh, no, you have to put a year on there. That's how you collect them. They're not collectible if they don't have a year on.
Is that right?
That's absolutely right.
Okay.
You need to have a year on there. So what we ended up doing in 2021, a lot of those people were like, well, we can't afford to come back. We have these medals that are still here. So we came up with husband came up with an idea to add like little dangles that said 2021. So you actually got like a 2020 medal, but it was also considered a 2021 medal.
So a hybrid, even more collectible.
Yes.
That is so cool.
Very much so.
So cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I can dig out my 2020s and we can do like a 2027, 2020. And
Oh my gosh. You never know what could happen with that.
that's just silly.
Yeah.
So you were kind of semi-retired, yeah? Is that what you call it, or would you call it fully retired?
No, I'm fully retired now.
Good for you.
I
Good for,
retired 4 years ago.
and Charlie decided ain't gonna happen. Not
Charlie's
yet,
like,
anyway.
Charlie was like, nope, I'm not ready. And we still talk about it all the time. And he thinks he's ready, then he's not ready. And he just doesn't know how to step back from things. And he's a doer and a goer.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I really blame him. It makes him happy. He loves it. But I decided when my life changed, when the trajectory of my life changed so much 4 years ago, I was already contemplating retirement. And it was the perfect time for me to step back, retire from the business, and refocus my purpose in my life. And so that's where
That's
all
when that
came
happened.
from. Hmm.
Well, I guess I've stayed up a couple of nights thinking about this and how I was going to talk about this with you, and um,
Just
I
roll it out there.
and because I know you,
Yeah.
and because I know your passion for what you do now with a nonprofit called Souls Walking for Souls,
Yes.
and we'll get into that too in a little
Sure.
bit. That a really horrific tragedy happened in your family several years ago. But I want to take you back a little bit before that,
Yeah.
and tell me about your son Cody.
Oh my gosh. Cody. Cody's the youngest of my three boys. Um, he'll be 32 a week from today, March the 31st. He was born on Easter weekend. Couldn't be more fitting, um, because I just love the Lord so much. So him being born on Easter weekend was just really,
That's incredible.
it was pretty magical. But Cody was just such an incredible young man, very, very bright, um, artistic, loved music. Him and I talked music. Him and I talked books. We talked numbers. I know that sounds really weird, but we both had this really weird number fetish.
Okay.
Yeah, very strange. And he was he was just a light, just such a sweet young man. But with that being said, from the moment he was born, he struggled in life. He had a lot of illnesses that he dealt with from the time he was probably 6 months old until he was probably 14 or 15 years old. In and out of the hospital, asthma, RSV, the measles. We were those measles
Oh,
people.
wow.
Yes, he caught the measles. I got the measles.
Oh,
This was back in 1996 when nobody knew what the measles was. So when he
because it had
checked,
been eradicated.
oh,
You
yeah,
thought?
he was case number 6 and I was case number 7 in San Antonio
Holy
back in
cow.
1996. It was crazy. So he struggled a lot with his health, and then when he got into high school, he was doing great in school, great grades, but kind of withdrew. And we kept talking, and I just wondered what was going on in his life and so forth. And he was struggling in life. Found out that he was struggling with drugs, and it was a struggle with him for a while. We got him lots of help, and we maintained this wonderful relationship communicating with each other. Like I walked this walk with him from day one, and I understand the walk, having walked it myself.
How could how could anybody ask for somebody more perfect to bring this burden to, and have them help them through it,
Yep.
than somebody who has not only compassion but experience?
Well, and because of that, we connected on such a different level than anybody else in my family because I had struggled with alcohol all my life. And I got sober back in 1996 and have been sober since then from
Congratulations on
alcohol.
that.
Thank you. Thank you. And, so I understood what he was going through. And so him and I talked a lot about what his struggles were. And I could totally relate to that. So our relationship got even deeper through all of this. And during this time, my relationship with the Lord, I had to really, really rely on because there were so many times I didn't know what to do with specific situations. And the only thing I could do was go to God and say, this is yours. He's not my son. He is ultimately your son. And I'm asking you to protect him, keep him safe, and direct me on how I'm supposed to help guide him through this life. And so that's what we did. And he ended up doing well, making a difference in a lot of people's lives. And
Which was probably about the time I met him.
yes,
Yeah, he was working for you.
he was working at the store. He was living in Austin. He decided to come back to San Antonio and work in the store. He had an office set up right next to mine. It was a joy to be with all three of my sons in the store and my husband and my dog. Because I love my dog
I
too.
do. You got some cute dogs. Oh, so cute.
Ryder. So all of us were in there, and he was doing really well. And he married his college sweetheart. They had a 5-month-old baby boy that looks identical to Cody. And then one day I got the call that every, parent's worst nightmare. And he had taken a pill, an illicit Xanax that he thought was a Xanax in a moment of weakness. I'd talked to him the night before about a movie that I thought he should watch. And
He had been sober for how long at that point?
he'd been sober for probably 2 years. And so he had a moment of weakness and called a friend and got an illicit Xanax, and it was pure fentanyl. And I knew that it had to have been fentanyl because him and I had discussed fentanyl. We had talked about it over the 6-month period prior to that because we were seeing so many deaths from fentanyl happening. And there were things that were happening in Austin, San Marcos, Hayes County. And I said to him, you've got to be so careful in the sobriety walk of yours because there's so much fentanyl out there right now. And he said, I know. I know all about it. And he thought he knew. He did know all about fentanyl. He did know what it could do.
But he didn't know where that pill came from.
No, I just think that for him, it was like, this could never happen to me. And so one of the things that I tell parents and kids now is don't think that it can't happen to you. Because I will tell you, in your lifetime, you will know somebody who has died from fentanyl poisoning.
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
And that is a sad statistic.
It is so sad. And so that's what my purpose in life has become, is talking about the dangers of fentanyl, talking about Jesus, and sharing my experience with others.
And let's talk about that when we come back here in just a moment. Kathy, it's a joy talking to you.
Love talking to you
and
always.
I can't wait to talk a little more.
Me too.
We'll be right back. San Antonio, if you have not experienced PJ's Coffee of New Orleans, you are missing out on a true taste of the Big Easy right here at home. PJ's Coffee brings the bold flavor and rich tradition of New Orleans coffee straight to you, from smooth cold brew and handcrafted espresso drinks to their signature iced coffees brewed daily using a special cold drip process that takes hours to make but seconds to love. You can visit PJ's Coffee at I-10 and Camp Bullish Road, and now a brand new location at 281 and Bulverde, making it even easier to grab your morning pick-me-up or meet up with your friends in a warm, welcoming space. Whether you're fueling up for work, powering through the afternoon slump, or just craving fresh beignets and pastries and a perfectly brewed cup of PJ's Coffee, they have you covered. Stop by today and taste the flavor of New Orleans right here in San Antonio at PJ's Coffee, proud sponsor of the Bomba Pod. Hey, everybody, we're back with Kathy Drago, and we're talking about her son Cody and the tragedy that befell her family. And what year was it, Kathy?
June 11th, 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years ago, yeah, 2022. And since that time, I've met so many parents in the San Antonio area who all lost kids in that 3-month time period in 2022. So there had to have been some bad batch that, came across the border or wherever it came from, and it took out a lot of kids in this area.
Well, it's sobering, not using that word flippantly, but it's sobering to see the statistics
Yes,
and the billboards,
yes,
the magazine articles,
yes.
the news reports, and it seems to only be getting worse and worse, not better.
The numbers are getting a little bit better. I will have to say that. In the year that we lost Cody, equate it to this. Think about take take the University of Texas football team. Fill that entire stadium up to capacity with UT versus A&M. Pack it in. That's how many lives were lost in 2022 across the country. A whole packed stadium. Talk about an airplane going down once a day and losing 250 passengers each day. That's how many people were dying of fentanyl poisoning every single day in our country. And I did not know these statistics until my son became one of those statistics. And so I met with other angel moms and met with city leaders and talked to people from other nonprofits and just decided we need to do something about this national crisis that we're in, because why are we not talking about this on a regular basis, and why is this not on the news every single day, shouting from the rooftop? So what ended up happening is you have all of these grieving mothers and fathers and grandparents that are on the front lines screaming out for their kids to be heard, and for other people to hear this message that fentanyl is out there and can get your child too in so many different ways.
Yeah, and the amazing thing about it is you see all types of deaths portrayed on the news, car accidents,
Mm-hmm.
war now,
Mm-hmm.
murders, you name it. Yet the one that is outpacing all of them rarely gets mentioned. I mean, you'll see a 60 Minutes report on it,
Right,
or you'll see a Nightline report on it.
right.
But on the evening news, you're
Number
right.
number one cause of death for men ages 18 to 45, fentanyl poisoning.
That's a big range.
That's a huge range.
That's a big range.
Here's what's alarming to me. What's alarming to me is knowing the parents who have kids that are 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, whose children never had substance abuse problems, who went to a party, who tried something one time and died.
Yeah,
You know, I think back in my
they were
day,
experimenting.
they were experimenting. I got the luxury to be able to experiment. I'm sure you did too.
Yeah,
That's what you do.
it was a different time.
That's what you do when you're a kid. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's always right, and not
No.
all kids do that, but that's what kids do. And now you don't even have the luxury to be able to experiment, because you could die from that.
Well, I got to tell you an experience that I had my first 2 weeks in college, and this is how different it is now. We went to a party at one of the students' grandparents' house. The
Mhm.
grandparents weren't there. I found out later, out in Lukenbach.
Okay.
And the three people that went with me and I got out of the car and we started walking up the drive to the house. And as we were walking up the drive to the house, I can't remember if it was a male or female, but somebody came out and said, "Hey, you guys want to hit?" and had a tab of acid
Yep.
for everybody.
Yeah.
I said no because I was scared to death.
I would have been too.
Even back then, I was.
Yes.
There was something that frightened me about cocaine
Yep.
and crank and heroin. That was completely out of the question.
We didn't talk about that in high
No.
school and college. We didn't know people
No,
that did stuff
heroin
like that.
was something that junkies did in
Under the
a
bridge.
back alley or under
Absolutely.
the bridge.
You bet.
But that was my first exposure to something other than marijuana,
Hmm.
and so I knew it was out there, but now I see it's out there,
Yeah.
and I'm sure a lot of kids experimented that night
Sure.
and probably had a great time,
Sure.
and lived to see the next day. Okay, like many Grateful Dead fans have done
Yes.
all these years.
Yes.
But with that being said, We live in a different time,
We do.
in a different climate, in a different atmosphere, and it is not the same.
It is absolutely not the same. And I have 8 grandchildren, 4 under the age of 5, and then 4 teenagers. And I've had to sit down with every single one of these teenagers and say, you cannot try one thing. You cannot trust that your best friend got something from his brother or a prescription Adderall and not question whether or not that has fentanyl in it. It's not going to be some drug dealer that you're going to get something from that's going to kill you.
As a general rule, if you're snorting it, popping it, or shooting it, don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it,
Don't touch
period.
it. Period. End of story. End of story.
Yeah, and why you would gamble with your life, yet every day people are doing that.
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't understand fentanyl. And myself included in some ways. I certainly know about fentanyl. I know what it is. I know how bad it is. But fentanyl in and of itself, is that typically a drug of choice for people?
No, there are people that use fentanyl as their main drug, but no, it's not typically the main choice. It normally is found in opiates. All the precursors are made in China. Those precursors are sent over to Mexico. Everything's made in Mexico, and then it makes its way to the United States. And if you look at the tip of a pencil, that's how much that the little itty bitty tiny tip of a pencil. That's how much fentanyl can kill you.
And yet people choose that to get high?
People,
I understand.
Some people choose that to
I
get
understand
high.
being duped
Yes.
or being unaware and doing something stupid and having that happen to you.
Right.
But why on God's green earth would you ever ingest that purposefully?
That's something I do not understand. Personally myself, I've never understood opiates and something that brings you really, really down. When I've taken an opiate in the past, it's because I've had a surgery or something. I've only taken an opiate one
most
time.
People, that's the only time they'll ever have.
Yeah, and the feeling, I hated it. I just hated it. And I was just like, oh, this is awful. But that's not the case for a lot of people. And when those oxycodones and everything became such a huge medication for people to use after surgeries, that's when the whole opioid crisis hit next level with all of the hydrocodone that was out in the market, and people became addicted to opioids. And then now you just throw the whole fentanyl thing in there.
And opioids are often a gateway to other street drugs.
Absolutely, they are.
To heroin in particular.
Absolutely. And, someone that's had a sports injury, they need to be really, really careful about what they're given from their doctor, because anything that is hydrocodone, that class of drugs, they're highly, highly addicting and sometimes impossible for certain people to get off of. And what ends up happening is you have a doctor that won't prescribe it anymore. So what do you do now? Well, now you go to the street. Now you buy something illicit. Now you buy heroin that's really cheap.
I know people in my own circle.
Yes.
And that's as deep as I'm going to get into it.
Yes.
That I know do that.
Yeah.
And they're not kids.
No, I know.
They're not even young adults.
Right.
They're mature, older people, and they do this.
Yeah, that's scary.
And it's beyond frightening.
It is in this day and age, it is the most frightening time to ever buy anything that is not prescribed by your doctor.
I know that marijuana is not legal in the state of Texas.
Right.
But it is legal in many, many, many
Yes.
states.
Yes.
And I think you would be out of your mind to buy any marijuana anywhere but at a dispensary where it's regulated and controlled.
Absolutely.
And who would do that?
Absolutely. I even have several Angel Mom friends. We call ourselves Angel Moms, that have lost loved ones, that kids have gone over the border and gone into Mexico and gone to one of the pharmacies in Mexico and been poisoned coming back across the border and dying.
That's so scary.
So
And
scary.
I mean, back when we were younger, um, older ladies would go across and get their fin. I
Yes.
remember that. My
Yes.
mom would do it.
So do I. I remember that.
And again, it's just not the same world that we're living
It's
in.
not. It's not. So we have to be super cautious. We have to talk to our kids. We have to keep the line of communication open. And kids need to be able to talk to their parents without judgment, um, without anything that comes alongside of that other than listening ears of what's going on in your life and how can I help you. And I always tell kids, if you can't talk to your parents, then go to a counselor at school that you love. Go to a teacher at your school that you have a great relationship with and talk to them about it, but talk to someone
You have to.
about what you're struggling with and let someone help you.
Kathy, what are some telltale warning signs i- to look for in your kids? Because you and I have both had children
Yes.
that have struggled with substance abuse. Thank God I didn't have to get that call,
Yes.
and I hope I never do.
I hope you never do either.
Uh,
I love that child of yours.
and I know you do,
Yes.
and you have done so much for her. The you've done so much for her.
Thanks.
Um, Getting into these drugs and these lifestyles and the people that they're hanging out with. What are some warning signs that you can look for in your kids?
I think some of the biggest things, like what I saw, was friendships changing. All of a sudden, let's say your child is all of a sudden hanging out with a lot of different people. You're like, who are those kids they're hanging out with? Not listening to you as much, sleeping a lot, not eating well. My son struggled going to school his senior year, and I couldn't understand what was going on until I finally went home one day, and then I understood what was going on because
You
I saw it with my own
you
eyes.
saw it, you caught it,
Yeah.
and
And so once I knew what I was dealing with, then I was able to decide with my husband and our family what we were going to do about it.
after Cody passed, and and left behind a wife, a new wife,
Hmm.
a new baby.
Hmm.
After that, what was that burden like for your family?
It's hard to describe. Um, it's a really, there's a grief in a mother's soul that only another mother could understand. There will always be this hole in my heart that will never be filled because he's gone. But I rest in the fact that I know where he's at. I know he's in heaven. I know I am going to see him one day. And my grief journey was a really, really difficult journey. It was hard to navigate. It was hard on my marriage. I'm not going to lie. My husband and I,
How could it not
oh
be?
my
So
gosh.
many marriages end
Yes.
whenever they lose a child, if for whatever reason, much
Yep.
less something as tragic as this.
65% of marriages fail after a child is lost. That's huge. And there was a point when I said, we're going to have to fight for this marriage because it's, those are what the statistics are. So we just kept fighting. He went back to work, and I just threw myself into Souls Walking for Souls, other angel moms, and my relationship with Christ.
Let's hold it there for a
Okay.
second. And when we come back, I want
Yes.
to talk about rising from grief of this magnitude, what it takes to do that,
Yes.
and what it takes to keep doing that and encouraging other people to do that.
Love it.
We'll be right back. If your home's windows are drafty, outdated, or just driving up your energy bill, it's time to call my friends at Window World. They're America's largest replacement window and exterior remodeling company, and for good reason. Window World offers high quality, energy efficient windows, siding, and doors, all professionally installed and built to last. Right now is the perfect time to upgrade. New windows and siding from Window World can help lower your energy bills, improve your home's curb appeal, and make your space more comfortable year-round. Plus, their products are backed by an industry-leading warranty, giving you peace of mind long after installation. And the best part? Window World makes it easy with free in-home estimates and flexible financing options that fit your budget. Don't wait. Improve your home's value and efficiency today. Visit WindowWorldTX.com in San Antonio in the Hill Country and WindowWorldCC.com in the Coastal Bend to schedule your free in-home estimate now with Window World. That's WindowWorldTX.com or WindowWorldCC.com. Window World, proud sponsor of the Bomba Pod. Hey, everybody, we're back with Kathy Drago, and we are talking about fentanyl awareness, the scourge that is fentanyl and what it's done to our country and our children. And right now, Kathy, I want to ask you about the rising from the ashes, if you will, of that type of immense grief and immense pain. Your family, I'm sure, was tested by it. Your marriage, as you already pointed out, was certainly tested by it, and
Yes.
and understandably,
Yes.
very understandably. At what point, and was there a particular thing that happened after that tragedy that was a wake up for you to say, look, either I can keep doing this and I can wallow the rest of my life, or I can do something good with it? When did that happen?
Honestly,
Honestly, yeah.
there was not this burning bush moment. My burning bush moment in my life was back in 1996 when I came to know the Lord. And Jesus has changed everything for me. So having navigated my own alcoholism and sobriety, and then a child who's struggling and a family who's struggling alongside that child, being brothers and mother and so forth, I had to turn to God in everything. And sometimes that was really difficult. And sometimes I could utter 4 words, and that was it. I trust you, Lord. And I've told this story so many times prior to my son's death. I counseled a lot of women that had kids that were struggling with drugs or alcohol, spouses that were struggling with their loved ones from drugs and alcohol. And they would say to me, how can you do this? And I said, there has to be some spiritual foundation for you to be able to walk through this, because you cannot walk through this alone.
No.
And I remember, now this is kind of a burning bush moment. I remember during Cody's struggles, I was struggling praying. I loved the Lord. I had always been a follower of Christ, but I was struggling praying. And one morning I woke up and I said, okay, this is the way I'm going to do it. I trust you, Lord. And that's what I said for the next 6 months.
And that became your mantra.
That was my mantra. It is now on my wrist. I tattooed that on my wrist
I think that's beautiful.
2 weeks after my son died. And seriously, there were some days that I said, I trust you, Lord, 50 times in the day. There was one morning I was driving to work going to Monarch, and I'm driving and the sun is bright, and I'm like, I trust you, Lord. I trust you, Lord. And then all of a sudden I was like, wow, I really do trust you, Lord. Like, it was a moment for
It was
me.
clear.
It was clear. But with that means I'm going to trust you in all things, everything that you give me in this life. And I meant that. So what God was doing for me, I never understood until my son passed away. He was he was giving me a strength, building strength within me to endure what I was about to endure with my son's death.
And I think that a lot of people will find it hard to identify with the positivity that you took out of that situation. What they will identify with, and what they can understand, myself included, is many moments of doubt, depression, believing maybe even that there's not a God.
And I know a lot of people that feel that way.
Yeah.
I have never felt that way.
And I've never felt that way.
Yes.
I've never been through anything remotely what you've been through, but in the worst times of my life,
Hmm.
I've not only have I not felt that there was no God, I felt like, boy, if I ever needed God, it's right now,
Oh yeah. Oh
and I
yeah.
hope He shows up,
Oh yeah.
and we
You
know He will.
know, my God has been so faithful to me, and people have asked me. I can't tell you how many times people have said, "Are you just mad at him?" And I'm like, "No, I've never been mad at him." I was just telling one of your employees, I said, "I've never been mad at God. I have never questioned His timing because we all have a day. Am I going to have a discussion with Him about the day that He chose for my son? Absolutely. We're going to have that discussion when I get up there." But I don't question that. And I know that sounds odd and so forth, but that's how strong my faith is. I lost my son at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning. And on Sunday, I was in church, knelt at the altar with I can't tell you how many people around me and a whole church, Community Bible Church, lifting me up and praying over me less than 24 hours from the time my son died. That is the only place I knew to be, was with God and with other people. And the beauty of what happened that day, having lost my son that day before, was when Pastor said, I want any other mothers or fathers that have experienced loss like this in any other way, please come down here. The whole service, there was no sermon that day. The whole service became about loss. And mothers and fathers joined me at that altar, sobbing, praying for their prodigals, praying for their sons and daughters that they had either lost or were still out there. And it was such a beautiful moment for me that I knew in my life my purpose had to be about talking about fentanyl and the dangers of fentanyl, and talking about Jesus and what Jesus can do in your life um, to save you from the depths of the despair, like the tragedy of losing a loved one like this.
And it's amazing to me the amount of impact that your son has had on so many people,
Yes. Yes.
including my family,
Mm.
my daughter,
Yes.
and I'm sure he knows it.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows it.
Yeah.
Um, but for you to take that message and turn it into a beautiful organization called Souls Walking for Souls,
Right.
tell us about that.
Well, it was shortly after my son died. I met this amazing woman. Her name's Veronica, and she had lost her 17-year-old daughter. And Veronica was talking about doing something, a website, nonprofit. Would you like to join us? Her and I just completely hit it off the moment we met each other. And how could we not? We lost our children the same way. But her daughter was still in high school. She was going into her senior year in high school and lost her. And so Veronica had been talking about doing something, and I went off on vacation, went on a healing journey, went to Siesta Key, and spread some of Cody's ashes in the ocean there because he loved Siesta Key too. And I was away for a couple of months on a healing journey and really honing in on my relationship with Jesus. And when I got back, she had kind of started something, and we got in touch with each other. And she said, I want to do this thing. And we've got this name, Souls Walking for Souls. And I'm like, I am in. I am in. Let's go. And in that time, she had met a couple other angel moms who came alongside us. And so four of us, one's a grandma, and three of us mothers, we all started working together and decided we were going to put this walk on, and got our city officials, got our governor to come and be our keynote speaker, and had our first official walk in October of that following year.
And it's
So
only grown since then, hasn't it?
it has. It's been a great thing. We'll put on our fourth walk this next
That's hard to
year, and
believe.
it's been a really amazing experience to be a part of. And one of the things that our organization does is we go into high schools, we go into middle schools, we talk directly with students, we do assemblies, and that's what I love doing most. I love talking to the kids.
Well, you're clearly a people person.
For sure.
When you
For
and I
sure.
met the first time, I knew that.
Yeah. And you're the same way.
Well,
You and I hit it off that first time
we
we met
did.
each other.
We did. And I
Yeah.
felt like I had known you for a very long
I
time.
felt the same way.
And the good that you're doing and going to these schools and talking to these children, I think that maybe you learned a little bit at least what God's plan was for you.
Oh, there's
And that is
no question.
touching so many lives and saving so many lives.
Yes.
And I think that that's really the only way that we're going to continue to make headway in this battle and win this battle is to talk about it.
We have to talk
We
about
got
it.
to do something about it,
Absolutely.
but you have to make it known first.
Yes. Yes. And that's what these parents have been doing. Is getting the word out there. One of the things that we're Souls Walking for Souls is doing also is we're giving out scholarships now, and we're giving out grants to other organizations like ours there's so many incredible fentanyl awareness organizations out there, and we want to support those people. And so we gave out five scholarships last year, but we're also giving out scholarships to a loved one. Let's say like a child that wants to go to school and has lost a parent, doesn't have the money to do it. Or a parent that's lost a child and they can't afford a funeral or they can't afford a headstone or whatever. We're giving scholarships to those people now.
How do you
too.
find these people?
They apply online.
Okay.
So they go to our website or they go to our Facebook page at soulswalkingforsouls.org. And there's application process for either a grant. The grants are for Texas-based fentanyl organizations. The scholarships are usually Texas-based too. And we'll give out our first scholarship this year to someone that wants to go to college. So we're really excited about that. And hopefully we'll generate more scholarships and more applications as the years go by.
That is so special.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to make sure everybody's got the right website. It's Souls, the number 4, right?
Yes. And
Souls
it's
Walking for the number
Souls.
4, Souls.
And it's souls as in like
Of your feet.
shoes. Yeah.
Yeah.
SOLES, walking for souls, SOULS.org.
As in human beings with
Yeah.
their souls.
Yeah. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We have our website.
As the kids say, all the socials.
We're all the socials. We're all the socials. Absolutely. And now we have a new gal that's joined our board. She's a fifth gal that has joined us, and she's a student from UTSA that lost her 14-year-old sister
Oh,
back the same year,
Wow.
2022. She's joined alongside us, so she'll probably be our socials girl now because she's a young one.
she knows. Yeah. See, I know enough to get the young ones that understand it.
Yes.
I'm here talking. All of this doesn't happen because of me.
Right, right.
is
The whole like
something else,
TikTok world and all that stuff. I don't get all that. You
No.
know, I'm of the Facebook era. You know, that's what we did when we were growing up. So I got Facebook
Yeah.
down. But when it comes to Instagram,
You realize
and
that's
TikTok,
old now, according to my 16-year-old granddaughter.
completely.
Only old people use that.
We're old now.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
I own it.
We're those
It's
people.
okay.
I'm going
I
to
own
own
it.
it too.
Are there any plans, Kathy, to take Souls Walking for Souls outside of Texas, maybe nationally?
It's possible. We're discussing it. I will tell you this, that the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, got in contact with me last week, and they are going national with a Fentanyl-Free America campaign, which is going to be epic.
That's
because
awesome. That's
we
so
we
incredible.
partner with some people with the DEA locally here, and they're amazing people doing some amazing work. But Fentanyl Free America is their big initiative, and July 11th, they're going to put on something in all the big cities across America. And our local person, who's based out of Houston, contacted me and said, "Will Souls Walking for Souls partner with us?" And that's a no-brainer. Absolutely, we will partner with you.
Absolutely.
So they're going to come into San Antonio. Souls Walking for Souls is going to partner with a Fentanyl Free America. And we don't know the particulars yet. We just know it's July 11th. We don't know if it's going to be a walk or a run or what, but it's going to be something.
That's
And it's going to
so
bring
cool.
America, it's going to bring, awareness
To a wider audience.
to a much wider audience. Yes.
Yeah. And we need that so badly.
Yes, we do.
We need that so badly. Kathy, before we wrap things up today, I want you to tell me a little bit about a place that you mentioned that you love so much. Tell me about Siesta Key. What is I know there's something special about this place because I look at you. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
I just got back from there like
it's you and your tan
a week
legs.
ago.
Uh, what draws you to that? What draws you to Siesta Key in Florida, and what does that do for you
Oh
spiritually?
gosh, let me tell you. So I've been going to Siesta Key since I was 5 years old with my family. So that's where I was raised. That's where we spent spring break, and then my family bought a place there. So now we spend an awful lot of time there, and I'm probably there 4 months out of the year now, working around what I'm doing with my fentanyl awareness stuff. And probably what I miss most when I'm gone is church. Like I get FOMO
Do,
bad.
do you have a church home down there?
I do down there, but
It's different.
I watch online
Yeah.
with my home church, with CBC because they do have stuff online. But again, I get FOMO because fantastic things are happening and I'm not there in person, and it just So I usually come home, like I'll be gone for a couple of weeks, and I'll come home and I'll see my family and go to church, and then I'll go back.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so I do a lot of that.
but you're close enough and you're in a
I
position that
am.
you can do that. That's
I
awesome.
I can do that now that I'm retired. Couldn't do that before, but there's something about staring at the ocean, hearing the waves, hearing taps being played at sunset by my neighbor next door, which has been going on for 25 years.
Really?
Yes, she's 100 years old
Come
now. This
on.
woman, yeah,
Did she lose someone in a war? Is that
her husband was a World War II vet. They lived in a condo on Siesta Key in the complex right next to us. He would play taps at sunset perfectly as the sun would go down at night. He passed away. It's been 15, 20 years. She's carried on the tradition with a recording of him that we all listen to and get to listen to every single night. Like I'm in tears every single night when I watch sunset.
that's just incredible.
And so there's something about sunsets. There's something about wiggling my toes in the sand and staring at the ocean and just knowing the vastness of God's glory in this world and how beautiful um, this world really is with God in it.
I think that you hit the nail on the head is I never feel closer to God than whenever I'm at an island location or on a beach location or
Totally
I'm on a
agree.
boat in the water.
Totally agree with you.
Eli Young Band has a song called Saltwater Gospel.
Yes.
Couldn't agree more.
Oh, I got to go
Couldn't
listen to
agree
that
more.
one.
It's oh, you'll love it.
Yeah.
And that brings me back to music.
Yes.
I want to ask you, name some songs that when you're feeling like maybe you're slipping a little
Hmm.
and you're not as positive as you would like to be.
Hmm.
What are some songs and some artists I know the Dead, but some artists that kind of bring you out of that funk and lift you up.
So, one of the things in my daily routine when I go to bed at night, it doesn't matter what kind of day I have. I go into my prayer room, and the last hour of my evening is in my prayer room, and there's nothing but praise and worship that I'm playing. And it's low. It's not me jumping up, doing my dancing, arms waving, and all that stuff. It's just me soaking in the words of certain artists that I love. And I love all kinds of praise and worship music. But my favorite artist, Brandon Lake, Gratitude, Elevation Worship.
I love almost all
Oh
of it.
my gosh, Bethel, Hillsong, Carrie Job, Cody Carnes, just all of them. They have such inspiring, incredible lyrics, and I just hang on every single one of them. And
And
there'll be nights that
you can't be negative listening to that.
no, no. There was a particular song that after my son died, I always thought was a song about my son and I. And and one night I was in Florida and I was sitting on the beach with my best friend, and I had my phone going with the music, and this song came on, and I said I can't listen to this song, and she said why, and I said because it's about Cody and I, and it grieves me, and she goes I want to hear this song, and so she listened to it, and after it was over with, she said, Kathy, this is not about you and your son. This is about you and Jesus and what Jesus has done for you in your life. Did you not see this? So I listened to it one more time. And I heard what she said, and she was so spot on. It was about what my walk looked like with Jesus and how he's carried me through this journey that I've been on called life, and the ups and downs of life and what it feels like. And he has carried me every step of the way in this journey.
Kathy, I can't thank you enough for being here and talking with me today. I only regret that I have to follow you with other guests at some point. It's going to be a letdown.
Oh my gosh,
It's going
no.
to be a letdown.
No, it's been so awesome to sit here with you.
And again, please tell everybody where to find more information about Souls Walking for Souls.
Yes, so you can find us on Facebook, Instagram. Our website is Souls, SOLES, walking, 4, Souls, SOULS.org. And when you get on there, you can find out all about our kids, our loved ones, what we're doing in the community, what we're doing in the state, and what we're giving back to.
And of course, they can apply for the scholarship, the
Yes.
new scholarships.
Yes.
And also, they can but they can learn more information about being a sponsor of these great events.
Absolutely. And that's one thing I want to thank you for. You have always been one of our title sponsors.
How could I not?
In Souls Walking for Souls. And I can't tell you how much we appreciate Window Worlds and your personal support of this endeavor that we're on.
Well, Debbie and I are very proud to be a part of it, and so proud of you and,
Thank you.
and your journey and your walk with the Lord. And thank you for all of the lives that you have touched and continue to touch and will continue to touch.
Thank you. I
Kathy
appreciate it.
Drago, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning into the Bomba Pod. If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend, post it, and help us spread the inspiration. Special thanks to our producer, Dennis Ayotte, and to our sponsors, Window World and PJ's Coffee of New Orleans, for helping make these conversations possible. I'm Martin Bomba, and remember, your story matters, your voice matters, and your impact starts now. Until next time, go out and spread some kindness. Make the world a better place. The views expressed on this show by the guest or the host may not reflect those of our sponsors.